At this point, I think the 5, 6, 7, and 8 don't even matter. Like, it's just
They really don't.
they
I
really
only
don't.
ever use the 1 through 4.
Welcome back to Flying the Coop, and boy, do we have a good one for you this week.
That's debatable.
That's a stretch.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the most excited I've been about an episode in all 33, 34 episodes.
You're a
we've done.
liar, Fluffy.
33.
No, I really am. And here's the thing. Here's how
I'm
you
over
know.
here choking on your bullshit. What the fuck, dude?
No, I'm serious. Hammer correcting me didn't even make me mad that time. That's how good of a mood I'm in out of this. You know, when I first thought like, oh, it'd be cool to have a podcast of like Rooster Teeth fans, and I made the post on the subreddit, Miss Floppy was like, is it just so you can force them to watch videos that you try to make me watch? Yes, that was the whole point. So guys,
Congratulations, it fucking worked.
well, so I want to tell everyone we watched 2 things. The first one is going to be rough, but I want everyone to buckle in for it. The second one, though, is maybe my favorite video involving Rooster Teeth of all time, or my favorite performance. And I'll even tease, and I think you should save it for the end of why, but Packy has a special connection to it
Mm-hmm.
that I think will be fun to talk about. But without spoiling what it is yet, guys, what do you think of these 2 videos that you watched?
Well, the first one I rage watched. Bobby, I was not happy about this one. I was not happy at all, sir.
Why? Everyone was so happy.
It was
Everyone was having a
fucking
great time.
torturous. First of all, as most of you listening know, I don't know a whole lot about Rooster Teeth other than what Floppy makes me watch and Red versus Blue. So this was a panel of everybody that does Achievement Hunter, and I knew 2
Yes.
people on that panel until Packy pointed out that one of them is the Pigeon Man. The exotic bird. The exotic
guy.
bird.
Superfan Jack.
Yeah, Superfan
Oh,
Jack.
Superfan
And I was like,
Jack.
oh, I have that t-shirt. Know who that guy is. Didn't know anybody else on this panel. And the cringe from the audience just
Oh boy.
made me pick up my Switch and I had to start playing Lego Star Wars so I could stab somebody.
Do you remember back when we had our intern episode?
Yeah.
No, not the intern episode. Do you remember back when the early days of Chia being on this podcast and you set out to try and make her mad?
Yes. I
You
do.
did it.
This might be as close as you've ever gotten.
I'm so giddy over here. I'm just soaking all this in. Before we get Packy and Hammer's reactions, yes, I know many of you at home, especially if you're an Achievement Hunter fan, you had shortness of breath. The room started spinning, and you were like, "Oh God!"
I could smell
She
that
said
room
in a-
through my TV, you guys.
She said an Achievement Hunter panel. Here's the thing, Chia. The first thing all of them thought was, which one?
There's more.
This week we are going to talk about the RTX 2013 Achievement Hunter panel that devolved into one of the worst / best things Achievement Hunter was involved with. But that said, just brief reactions, guys. Packy, Hammer, what did you think of this? Had you seen it before, and what did you think?
No.
It answers both
He was as
questions.
thrilled to watch it as I was, in case you were wondering. We
Oh,
were
that
like,
makes me
why
so
did we
happy.
save this for today when it's
I'm
so
so
beautiful
glad you-
outside? And we
So
have to
glad.
sit here for an hour and watch this?
I put it on 1.25 speed so we could get through it a little bit
Yeah.
faster. I tried 1.5 and it was too debilitating
It
to
was too
listen to.
much.
I
Here's the
already
thing, I've
wanted to
watched
shoot
it.
myself. That actually made me look for something to do that with.
I watched it on 2 times speed because I've seen it so many times.
You are an animal.
You are insane.
I just needed to remember what came when.
Can you explain to me why Gavin and the guy next to him were wearing superhero suits?
We'll get there. We'll
Okay.
get
We got to get Hammer's reaction.
Oh,
first.
yes.
Hammer. Hammer. Had you seen this before? Had you heard of this before? And what was your initial reaction?
I have not. And it's better than the Minecon panel.
Marginally better. Here's the problem. So yes, one day we will do the Minecon panel.
Oh, yay.
The thing with the Minecon panel that's very important that I think makes this worse is that Achievement Hunter, and we'll talk about this in a second, where Achievement Hunter is when they do this panel. Achievement Hunter was so popular doing their Minecraft videos, but Minecraft was just popular in general, especially Minecraft YouTube back at this point, or back at the Minecon point especially. So they showed up to Minecon. Well, I think it was just like Jeff and Matt showed up to Minecon to do like a panel because their videos were getting like 1 million, and Chia and Packy too, I guess too. If you look at some of their most famous videos that we've talked about, very few of them break 1 million views. A few of them, well, probably by now they have, but most of them did not at the time. They'd be in the hundreds of thousands. Every Friday for years, they would release a Minecraft Let's Play, and that motherfucker would crack 1 million views every time. Like that day, like that weekend. I mean, it was such a huge moneymaker.
That is
and
wild.
So the problem with Minecon was that Minecon was a bunch of just Minecraft YouTuber fans and Minecraft fans who went to Minecon who didn't know who Achievement Hunter was for the most part. So there was a lot of cringe mined from that. Then with this, everyone for the most part in this room knew who Achievement Hunter was. Because again, this is RTX 2013. And to set the stage here, Achievement Hunter had blown up in 2012 into 2013. This is when they're making these 1 million view videos a week. And I think at this point, they're still coming out with somewhere between like 3 to 5 videos a week. They're having a game night like on Friday, which is just like a short video, which I'm sure you guys heard someone ask about.
Yep.
So they're extreme. This is probably where most people started watching Rooster Teeth in general, like across all of, like, if the average of fans of Rooster Teeth, most of them started watching when Achievement Hunter was blowing up, which was right around now. This was the apex of, maybe not the apex, but it was, they had blown up to such a point that, like they said, they filled up a whole room. Achievement Hunter had been going for years at this point, but it hadn't really figured out what it was until now. Now, to set the stage, on stage, we have Lindsay Jones, at the time, Lindsay Tuggy, Michael Jones, her future husband, Caleb Dinacor, Jeff Ramsey, Jack Patillo, that one asshole. And then we had 2 people missing from the beginning because at this point, and to answer your question, Chia and maybe Packy, Achievement Hunter was very big on having team ups, like 2-party team ups, basically. And so, like, I don't remember all of the different names. I don't want to reference that one asshole, but they all had, every group of 2 had their own little fun name. So Gavin and Ray's fun little name was X-Ray and Vav. And they would always joke about being like a superhero duo, right? Which was like fine for the Achievement Hunter videos. But then what they did was they actually went, and because they were making so much money, there's actually an entire TV show they shot at least 1, maybe 2 seasons of called X-Ray and Vav. And it's like an animated show that they did for Rooster Teeth.
Damn.
There are DVDs out there of X-Ray and Vav. I don't have any. I would love one.
Yeah, I know.
But it was like a real show. And so the big thing was they came out in their X-Ray and Vav costumes, which I'm not minimizing Chia and Packy. It's super cringe from an outsider's perspective, but that was only the tip of the iceberg.
It really was. I loved it. I loved that they committed to whatever bit it was and rocked those costumes. That was probably the highlight of the entire thing for me. Was Gavin running out with the cape billowing behind him.
Well, we got to see, like, they're all great performers.
Oh my God, and they were all so young. I'm so used to seeing Jeff and Gav like in nowadays in anything we watch Regulation, and I'm like, oh my God, I forget they were babies.
Well, and then one note about the costumes. They were made by Anna Hullum, Matt Hullum's wife, who also made the Captain Dynamic costume for any old school Rooster Teeth fans.
Touch my awesome button.
Touch my awesome button.
I know that one.
We're recording.
Not video.
Oh, man. Okay, so now I have in my notes, worst thing ever happens and they don't have anything planned, so they decide to do a Q&A. We decided to, well, I decided that we would do this episode very close to Homebrew Austin because we're busy getting ready for our live show. And I think everyone might vividly remember the moment we got this live show, and we actually had a different cast at the time, me saying the one thing we cannot do is a Q&A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly because of this. So basically the way it works is when you do a live show, and Rooster Teeth themselves has talked about this, and Hammer, please jump in where I missed this from the podcast. Yeah. The problem with the Q&A, well, one, it makes it look like you're not organized. It makes it look like you don't have anything planned. You don't have anything to fall back on.
You put the work on the audience.
You put the work on the audience. And for most people, especially amateurs like us, you are not talented enough to keep that shit entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Achievement Hunter people are. All of them were very entertaining. However, what they lacked, maybe a little empathy. Now, I'm with them. I didn't have the empathy either. But I think there hits a point where they just don't care about making it entertaining anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of let things fall flat. Almost because that's funnier. Almost like a Norm Macdonald of we're just going to let this be cringe for the sake of it being cringe. So yeah, they don't have anything planned. They say they're going to do a Q&A, and then you watch the horde of people start moving toward the microphone.
And then you get to see somebody deep throat a microphone.
Well, hold on. You're getting ahead of yourself, Chia. Getting ahead of yourself.
We're not
I
there
got
I'm
all the
having
questions.
PTSD from this morning, okay? I still can't believe you made me watch this.
Do you know that, well, no, I
The
won't
Muffin
say it yet.
Man?
So, just wait. So yeah, they have literally nothing planned. They jump right into questions. First question, which I actually feel is really indicative of what the community was like at the time, because it's a lot of older fans who fell into Red versus Blue, found it, they're longtime fans, they like the shorts, and then Achievement Hunter blows up, and they're like, now I like this too. First question out is, Michael, are you going to do a full play of Dead Space 3? Which, I love that question. To reference what I was talking about earlier, Rooster Teeth has talked about these Q&As about putting work on the audience, one, but two, the audience who are for the most part not performers are finding themselves in front of a microphone with people that they really respect and love and want to work with.
Yeah. A lot of them want to work with.
They decide they want to perform. And you have to be really talented to get on a microphone and perform, especially when no one in that audience is there to watch you. So first guy nails it. Solid question.
Yeah,
It
really
feels
good
like
question.
a convention question, right?
Yeah.
That sounds like a common question you would ask people like this. Yeah.
Yes. So answer there was just Jack and Joel, or we're gonna do some sort of play, like short play.
Yeah, they had already planned on the fact that they were going to do it, and Michael wasn't. Then Michael told him, hold him to that.
Yeah.
Yes. Then second question was, what do you guys do at the company other than Achievement Hunter? Already I was like, ooh, that's,
What a question to ask in the middle of a room full of people. That's what Google's for, sir.
She was I thought it was a girl.
Oh, I
Was
just
it?
assumed it
I
was
can't
a dude.
remember. It might have been a guy. I can't remember. I'm so sorry, whoever it was. Oh, let's say that here. Guys, this was 2013. The world was a happier place.
Much happier
These people
place.
are having a good time. Like, no one here is like making fun of them. However, we have all been in situations, and we have sometimes been the person. Well, I don't want to speak for everyone. Sometimes you were the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I was the situation. Someone could tell a horrible story about you or show that later, and we're not putting any undue pressure on these people. They were just having a good time. Clearly it worked because this is so impactful 13 years later. So yes, the second person says, what do you do other than Achievement Hunter? Which is a wild question to ask this group, like it's been pointed out, in a room full of people who are presumably fans. also to one of the people who started the company.
Yeah.
Started the
what
company and
the
its longest running series.
Like, what do you mean? Clearly you're watching Achievement Hunter. Was it just on YouTube or was it on the Rooster Teeth website?
It was on both. It was on both. But and that's the thing. I do want to, and she is kind of going down the right path here. Like, I did actually defend this question in my notes. It's not a terrible question. Like, do you guys do other things for the company? I think is a better way to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fair to ask, because if you are somebody that only ever watches it on YouTube and you're not aware that it actually comes from its own sourced website that has a lot more than just what you're watching,
Yeah.
especially since Achievement Hunter broke off, I think, onto its own YouTube channel too. So they may not have even known it was part of Rooster Teeth if they weren't delving enough into the stuff they were watching. So it is fair to say that somebody that would be somebody that's just a YouTube watcher may not know that they do anything else at this company until they're at this panel that's put on by this company.
So well said. So well said, Packy. I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. Literally, I wanted to stress, like I said earlier, this was probably the biggest influx of fans Rooster Teeth ever had. Maybe not the biggest number total, but the biggest percentage change from year to year. And I'm sure a lot of people didn't even know what Rooster Teeth was. And then they show up and there's all these other things happening.
Which RTX was this in terms of like number of?
It was the third one.
Okay.
There was 2011, 2012, and this was 2013.
Okay.
Yep.
And this was the first one that was like very big. 2011 had 400 people. It was only supposed to have 200, but they sold double the tickets by accident. 2012, I don't remember how big it was, but 2013 was in the convention hall. It was a big deal.
Okay.
Fun fact about Floppy. Oh, should I tell this story?
Yes.
Yes.
I applied to be a guardian at this RTX and I was approved, and I put that, things in my resume that, like I played football at an SEC college, which is, a thing for sports people. And I put some other things in my resume, some other cool stuff I got to do. I was a lead actor in a pilot for a TV show that fucking crashed and burned. So I could kind of pad out my resume a lot, and I got approved to be not only a guardian, but a personal assistant. And this is where I won't say for who, but I got approved to be a personal assistant for someone at the company. Then my parents told me that I wasn't going to waste my money flying to Austin, and they wouldn't let me go. I was 21 at this point, but my parents kind of ruled the roost still. And I was working at a Goodwill trying to have enough money to like go back to college because I had failed out of my first college basically. And so they wouldn't let me go. So the person who actually went instead of me ended up a very long-term and very famous employee at Rooster Teeth. That's also because of like, they were extremely talented and like people knew who they were. But just to be clear, I'm not saying I would have had that same trajectory, but it's a sore spot for me.
For sure.
With this stuff. So, yeah, that's my context around it. So then one funny answer from Ray, because they said, what do you do at Achievement Hunter or at Rooster Teeth other than Achievement Hunter? Ray says each other. That got a laugh out of me.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden the crowd just does the wave.
Yeah. How long you been playing in that?
I put in my notes, things are starting. So,
well, didn't Gavin mention slow-mo guys and then they did it?
Yes. I mean, am I missing a reference here?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just seem to randomly do it. Like, they just did the wave.
So it wasn't necessarily a response to slow-mo guys. That's just when it happened.
Yeah, that's what, like, they just did it. And I didn't, I rewound it a few times and I was like, because I was like, did someone tell them to do that? No, they just did it. Then someone asks, I think a fair question, what made you come up with the idea for Achievement Hunter? Jeff and Jack technically were the ones who started it, but it started as a way to teach people how to get achievements, and then it evolved into actually the Let's Plays. If you are an Achievement Hunter fan, you already know the story that Gavin and Jeff were playing a baseball game. It was so funny that Jeff pooped himself, and then they decided let's put voice over the video game play, and millions of dollars later, here they are. Solid question, totally solid question. Then we get into question 4, where Achievement Hunter fans aren't going to have a visceral reaction to this. The young lady gets up to the microphone and yells "Mark Nut."
Mm-hmm.
That one hurt me pretty deep.
I heard that and I understood like that it's an
Oh.
Achievement Hunter thing, but I have no fucking clue what that's referencing.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I've had to piss for like 40 minutes and I thought I could hold it. I would
Go
be right
piss,
back.
girl. My God.
You got to take us with you, though. Oh, he already left.
So we're going to keep that in.
Yeah.
So Spider Noir came out.
Yeah, you
Oh,
mentioned you
shit.
watched 2 episodes so far.
Yep, I'm 2 in so far, yeah.
What do you think?
Good. Yeah, I'm watching it in black and white, obviously.
Oh, that's optional?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's fun.
I feel like it should be black and white.
Yeah.
Right.
How's Nick Cage in it?
He's good, yeah. From what
Nice.
I've read, this is his first TV show.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. I was just trying to think, because I mean, so many actors from film have jumped to TV within the last, I'd say, decade or so, and I'm kind of shocked that that's his first one.
And I guess it was Breaking Bad that convinced him to do it.
Sometimes I wish I could weigh my piss.
Have you ever
Well, no.
tried? Like, just pee on the scale,
Piss in a bowl. Put
or
it on the
that probably
scale.
makes more sense. Maybe stand on the scale and then pee and watch the numbers drop.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll save this story for a different recording, but one time I had to lose weight for Pee Wee football, or like, 8th grade football. And I had to be under 150 pounds before like a certain day. And I had a growth spurt early. So I was like 5'9" at like 14, and like most other kids weren't yet. And then I never stopped. I never grew again. But so I was right on the line of 150 pounds, and my parents were like really on me, because if you were over 150, you couldn't play in the game. And so they put me in trash bags and shit the night before, and they were like, we're gonna have you start weighing your piss if you don't, because I was like, I can't remember what happened. And so I thought they were serious, so I pissed in a cup and then brought it in, and I was like, where do I weigh it? And then my dad looked at me in horror, and then my mom was like, what did he say? What did he say? My dad's like, he's just kidding. He's just kidding. And then he like go back in the bathroom. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like, dump it out now.
Oh my God, Fluffy.
Anyways, oh boy. So if you guys ever feel like this is a good time to prompt that, go ahead in a future recording. So yes, with Mark Nutt. So it was a funny meme. We all loved it. Well, some of us loved it. Gavin, they were playing an Olympics gameplay back in the day. And Gavin, the way it worked was you were just randomly assigned, like you'd pick a country to play in the Olympics, and you were randomly assigned, like, I think they were fake athletes. And so you would do random events, and one of them was archery. And Gavin's archer from England was named Mark Nutt. So Gavin would yell, Mark Nutt, and then he would shoot the arrow. It would either do well or not do well. But it became a thing.
It became a good vocal stim. Okay.
Yeah, so in the Minecraft Let's Plays, if he was shooting a bow in Minecraft, he'd yell Mark Nutt. If in a Grand Theft Auto Let's Play, he's shooting a sniper, he'd yell Mark Nutt, and so he'd shoot it. Really, really funny when Gavin says it in a video unexpectedly. Achievement Hunter fans seem to think it was really funny to just scream a lot. And so she screamed it. Then she said, and then I just typed, the hair stood up on my neck. Then she said, how did you guys become a part of Achievement Hunter? Now, I do think this is some sexism. So Chia, and I know Chia, I know you were really upset with a lot of these people. So maybe you're not going to get on their side. But
I'll do my best.
I felt like it was a little sexist, because the guy 2 questions before that kind of asked this. So she says, how did you guys become a part of Achievement Hunter? And the audience really seemed to hate that question. Like, they kind of all groaned. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
And like, she looked her, like it was loud enough that she reacted to it of like, oh, like, what am I saying wrong? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was because she was a girl and she asked.
Probably.
For
Then.
2013? Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
more than likely.
Oh my God, a vagina and a microphone? Ugh.
Yes. Well, and then basically she wanted them to go down the line and for each of them to explain why they were being hired. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't sexism because I was immediately like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like,
Yeah.
we're
One
gonna
of
go
them
through
is
this.
the founder.
Yeah, one of them is,
Yeah.
you know, the founder, which he just said. In the midst of this, that one asshole says that he was hired from Craigslist, and then someone in the front row asks for a job. They're like, will you hire me? And they're just like, no.
Yeah.
For Chia and Packy, if you don't know, like, this was a rampant issue. Like,
Yeah.
every time they went anywhere, they were like, Bernie talks about being handed like handfuls of resumes by the end of a convention.
They have everybody's dream job.
Yeah, given the
do.
fact that they're literally just, I mean, they're putting on a show and they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes, but to the casual observer, they're recording a gameplay and talking shit at the same time and then putting it on the internet and getting paid for it. Like, who doesn't want to do that?
Who doesn't want to do that? Well, Packy, and I'm not even going to ask you because I still feel like you're achievement hunter like adjacent enough. Chia, what's your read on like why they would ask that other than that? Like, obviously, it just seems like a cool job.
It felt very, very pick me.
Oh yes.
It made me cringe, and I feel so bad for them. Cause yeah, I could only imagine how many times people would be like, "Give me a job. Can you get me a job? I want to work there. Oh my God, here, take my resume." Like, oh my.
Yeah, you
how
guys are so funny. I can be
irritating.
funny with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're acting, yes, but they just do it so casually that everybody feels comfortable around them, which is a good thing. Like, but
Right.
don't make it weird, you guys.
They watch them do this every week, however many times on repeat, to the point where they get that parasocial connection with them where they're like, oh, I could say this right there. That would be so funny. And they would laugh at me. So, I mean, I'm not saying that every Achievement Hunter fan is like that. This is probably like the extreme of the extreme. But
Hammer,
people,
what do you think?
but people can easily get in that situation where they're like, oh my God, this reminds me of me with my friends. I could easily fit into this group. So of course they're going to ask to work with them because they feel like they have this connection with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important to point out the most popular people on that stage were Ray and Michael and Gavin. Did you notice what all three of their stories were of how they got hired? They were fans who made stuff
fans
and got
first.
hired.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So of course, you guys are completely right too with everything you're saying, but it's the combination, right? It's one thing for me to watch, you know, I don't know, Mr. Beast make a video of giving away a whole bunch of money. I'm like, oh, I'd love to be that. But if Mr. Beast used to be some fat schlubby dude who had a little podcast and then he became a billionaire, you put those two together. I'm like, that's exciting. That's me. That's what these people see, right?
Yeah.
They're like, they were fans and they got hired by being fans and making content. I can do this because they were so good at their jobs. They made it look easy.
Mm-hmm. And clearly if it happened to those three, it can happen to me too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So fans asked to be hired all the time. That was like a huge thing. Then someone asked a Minecraft Let's Play question next, which was who's killed Gavin the most?
Yeah.
But then we really get into it. Now, I found it. If you go to 8 minutes and 30 seconds on the video, I don't know if anyone saw this. You see the young lady here? She had asked one of the earlier questions, and I want you to watch the right side of the screen.
What?
It's him. It's him.
That's
Curious?
That's foreshadowing.
Oh,
He knows
my.
what's
I did
coming. He
not
knows
know.
what he's about to do.
Oh no.
I did not notice that.
I didn't either, because as I said before, I was not watching it. I was listening to it.
I didn't notice it. A comment pointed it out to me. And I was like, oh my God, thank fucking God someone said that. Because, yeah, you see him lean in. So we should talk about him. This guy is, if you were a Rooster Teeth fan in 2013, you knew this guy. The photo of him with his mouth over the entire microphone went Rooster Teeth viral. I mean, this was shared all over the place. If it happened today, like Moist Critical would have done a video on it. All of the big drama people would have done a video on it. It was just so cringe.
Mhm.
But this guy gets up there. Well, first of all, he kisses the microphone because he's way too close to the microphone.
Yeah.
And then they make a point to say that, and then he kisses it. He just wrote cringe turned up to 100.
Accurate.
Announces to the audience and to, well, really, he announces at Achievement Hunter that he's such a huge fan. He loves what they do. And this is why I have so much sympathy for this guy, and I really enjoy this guy. Every person sitting there in that audience did not have the balls to get up and do what he did, and all of them wanted to. Because he got up there, he said, I'm not saying it wasn't cringe, but he got up there and he performed, and everyone remembered him.
Yeah.
Like, not
Yeah.
a soul walked out of there not knowing who that fucking guy was. And including, like, I was watching the live stream. I if you would have asked me before this, I would have told you his name is Dylan Hatcher. Because it's burned in my memory.
He even said that they were going to remember him.
He said, you're going to remember me. And he said, I'm going to finish college. Because he said he talked to a guardian and they told him all the stuff he has to do and he hasn't done any of it. And then the cringe, Dilla cringe, where he just goes, well, I got to take a fucking piss. I gotta go.
Yeah.
And he just,
Just precisely why we're leaving in that you went to take a piss about 10 minutes ago.
no.
Yeah.
So yeah, he and then he like deep throats the microphone. He didn't ask a question.
Not a single question was asked, but that microphone got violated. And I feel
Yeah.
so bad for all the people that had to walk up to it after him and smell his stank ass breath all over that microphone.
Especially we're post COVID. He's very pre COVID. Like, just thinking about that now.
I debated where to put this in the video. Does anyone know where he is now?
I think you've mentioned it.
I've mentioned it. I just don't know if Chia and Packy remember.
Yeah, I do. I think I told her about it as we were
Oh, you
watching
did? Okay.
it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
go into details about it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Hatcher here took his own life in 2022
Yeah.
at the age of 27, which is super sad. There's no reason to think it's anything to do with any of this. But
For sure. Yeah.
that being said, kudos to you, good sir, because
Way to shoot your shot,
Legend.
of Rooster Teeth lore, you are in it.
Yeah.
You
That's for
you
sure.
are,
You will live forever, bud.
I will die knowing Dylan Hatcher's name because
As
you
he
put
said,
your mouth around a
that
microphone.
everyone's going to remember him, and we certainly will.
We sure fucking did, man.
Yeah.
And then I mean, he was the peak. The problem is it falls off so hard from there.
So hard.
The second guy, the guy after him says, I didn't know Mike Fellatio was a prerequisite, which I wrote performative and I have nothing against this guy.
I enjoyed his vocabulary.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like he was an older guy. I mean, older than like the average fan that was there.
Yeah.
It looked like. But he wanted a copy of Achievement City. Then it cuts back to that original Mike, and then this is the one where I was really like, this guy is being way too performative. He's like, hey, what's up with 6th Street? That's crazy. And it feels like he's trying to banter with them, which is the problem with the
Yeah.
Q&A,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I got that vibe too.
Yeah, next guy asked Jack, where's my waffle? Which I'm sure was a reference to something. Then we get Harley Quinn makes an appearance.
Mhm.
Yep.
Chia, would you like to
Ah.
talk about this one?
This one made me look away from my video game, you guys. I had to see it with my eyeballs because all I heard was, and I was like, what in the actual fuck is happening?
Yeah, she said her name was Harley Quinn, and
Yeah.
I was like, at first I heard it,
Behind
and I
her
was
was
like, wow,
Poison
that's
Ivy, and I wanted to motorboat her.
No.
Anyway.
Nice.
when she said her name real quick. When she said her name was Harley Quinn in the voice, I was like, oh wow, that's pretty good. I didn't realize it was going to be full character and go full bore towards it.
Yeah,
An old
she
school
couldn't
Harley
keep
Quinn,
character.
to be clear.
Again, I
Yes.
am a girl's girl. No hate to you, babe, wherever you
Batman
are. This was
animated
13
adventure
years
Harley
ago.
Quinn.
You were living your life, and I am so proud of you because I could never do cosplay like that. I do not have the balls. But my God, babe, I was so uncomfortable when she started yelling that somebody and Gab were her new Jay.
Oh
Our
God.
new Mr.
Well,
J. Yeah.
they're so.
Jay.
I hate to be the John Madden here and like pull out like the marker and start like drawing out the play. So much happened here where like she
I
starts
understood
out.
none of it.
She starts out real solid, right? She starts out real solid. She's got like the voice, but then the moment they sit, because she had probably been practicing, but then when they threw her off because they said
Yeah.
something, and then she broke and she
Yeah.
had to like take a
I think
second.
it was Jeff, and he said, "Oh wow, she's really committing to the bit."
Yeah, which I mean, again, just like our hero Dylan Hatcher, that's what you're going to remember, right?
Yeah.
And that's, you got to swing for the fences in a situation like that. I mean, don't, guys, don't. But look, hey, you're going to get remembered. He might not like how you're remembered, but she then wavers, and like that's where the cringe really sets in.
Yeah.
And you feel it in your bones. And then she kind of gets it back, and then she never gets it back again.
Mm-mm.
She just starts talking regular until the Mr. J, the new Mr. J's. Yeah. And then she asks what kind of music that asshole's kid listens to, which is a niche Achievement Hunter reference.
Ah, okay. I also,
I didn't understand
most
that.
of my cringe was because I didn't understand 90% of what was coming out of these people's mouths, and I just Q&As already make me uncomfortable.
Then we get to my least favorite person in the whole thing. And if you're still alive, sir, that's so mean. Hold on.
Good.
Now we get to my least favorite question in the whole thing. And look, sir,
If you're listening,
let me just start over.
don't just like skip forward like 30
Skip.
seconds to a minute.
I can't defend you here, is basically what I'm saying. I defended the deep throating Mike guy. I can't defend you. Because the first thing you did was say, my first question, and the whole audience groans.
Uh-huh.
You get one. You get one. You don't get a fun one and then a real one. You get one. Everyone's trying to ask a question.
Do you not see this line behind you, homie?
Do you not, like, good Lord. I'm so glad everyone's on the same page here of we're never doing a Q&A, like live. We'll do Q&As like if people want one, but we're never doing a live
Come ask
Q&A.
me questions after I get off stage and I've brushed my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Feel free to come ask me questions. I'm a very talkable person. I drive my boss crazy.
After the live show, go to the alley, find me. I'm wiping my chin from the vomit, and then ask me whatever you want to ask me. And if you want to ask us a question, there's a great place. Where's that place?
Oh, you're not catching me in this again. Mm-mm.
Is it really a place or is it a thing?
Babe, what's our email address?
It's FlyingTheCoopMail@gmail.com. That's where it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, we also have a Discord.
I'm not plugging the Discord. I'm punishing you.
Well, I just did.
Come check out our Discord. I'm on there pretty much never.
The problem with the Discord too, yeah, that's true. She is not on there. But she is. But she's not. Oh God, we gotta speed up. Okay. So yeah, Harley Quinn was rough. And yeah, this homeboy, he asks his first question, what is game night? For the uninitiated, there was a video that came out on every Friday called Game Night. It was really kind of dumb concept, but I loved it. Caleb Dinacor would talk about like what was going on and like just kind of random shit. And it was just called Game Night, and the videos were like 5 minutes long. And Gavin at one point, kind of being meta, the way he likes to comment on things that Rooster Teeth's doing that he thinks is weird. He's like, what is Game Night? And then that became a bit where every time the camera would start, Gavin would just be somewhere and he would yell, what is Game Night? Because I still to this day don't know what Game Night is or was. Then he asks about, the guy asks, his second question is like, is your dynamic off camera the same as on camera? Michael does my favorite bit that Michael's ever done where he makes fun of Jack and he's like, oh, which that's just the noise he makes for Jack all the time. But this is really important because it goes back to what you guys were saying earlier about that being a really cool place to work. And that's why you can't just consume this from the eyes of, and Paki and Chia did, but that's fine because like that's just like their job that they don't get paid to do. You can't consume this as somebody who's just outside in, you have to try to think about the context of the time. You're in your late teens, early 20s. These guys look so funny. They make you laugh a ton. You'd love to play video games for a living. They make it look so easy. They were fans. They got hired. And then Michael talks about how he hangs out with Gavin. Now, if you don't know, the Ralph Abonado office is across the street. Literally, it's a tiny street. It's one lane. And on the other side is an apartment complex, of which Michael's apartment was right there. He was so close that he used to use his button to close and open the gate to fuck with other employees who were trying to leave work. And their apartment complex had a pool. So during lunch, him and Gavin would walk across the street, have a sandwich, drink something called Riot Punch, which was like this hyper alcoholic drink that was based kind of on Always Sunny. And they would get really drunk and then go back to work and hang out. And then, as you hear later from like Jeff's stories, then they would go with Jeff out to a bar and they would go drink and hang out. And then they would go to sleep, wake up the next day and do it all over again. Who in their early 20s doesn't think that sounds like the fucking coolest job ever?
Yeah, that just sounds like early 20s, no
Yeah.
matter what way you swing it.
And you're being
And you're
paid
getting
for it.
paid for it.
Yeah, that's crazy. All of that's really important. Only other thing I have in my notes for this, because I didn't make it all the way through this, and I think we need to move on, was I have one, they referenced the Magic the Gathering Let's Play. That was a huge deal back in the day because everyone, I didn't even play Magic, but it had been hyped up so much that they played Magic the Gathering, and it was apparently so bad that it was unreleasable, which made the fans want it more. There were several videos like that, but the reason why, if you're still like, I love the Magic the Gathering Let's Play, you wouldn't go back and watch their World of Warcraft video, because the World of Warcraft one they did as like a sponsorship, I think, for when the Mists of Pandaria came out. I'm not a World of Warcraft person, but it's when everyone was a panda. And Ray, Michael, and Gavin did not want to do it. So they sabotaged the whole thing, and it's borderline unwatchable because it's just not entertaining.
That's what they were talking about. Okay.
Yes. So Magic the Gathering was that, but they just never released it. And the only other thing I have is I thought it was really funny because some guy wanted them to do more sports Let's Plays. And he stayed on the mic too long and said, I'm a Steelers fan. And then Jeff said, oh, okay. And then that was it.
Which one was it that Jeff said they had recorded 6 of them, but only 2 of them came out? Was that the World of Warcraft?
GTA. They just hadn't come out yet.
Oh, no, there was something he said that we'd recorded 6 of them, but only 2 of them come out. And there's a reason for that because of how bad it was.
Well, yeah, that's what he said. Not all of them are going to come out.
I thought that was the World of Warcraft one.
I mean, it might have been 2. But I have in my notes about that. They really want to do, like, what do you really want to do Let's Plays in? Answer was GTA 5. We have 6 videos recorded, but not all of them will come out.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, we might be talking about 2 different things. I don't know.
Either way.
I can't believe you remembered a specific line. That's
about where I came back to consciousness from watching it. I blacked out through most of it, but that's about where I came back in because I realized it was almost over.
So, final perceptions of that. What do you guys think?
1 out of 10. Don't make me watch that again, Floppy.
I was not drunk enough.
I was not stoned enough.
Hammer, what was your impression?
Could have been better.
Been understatement of the century. Could have been
That
better.
was-
Ironically,
yeah.
I disagree. I don't think it could have been much better. I think it was as good as it could have been.
It should have been better.
Okay. Next up is my favorite video that Rooster's ever been involved in of all time.
I can understand why.
Mm-hmm.
This one was entertaining. I was not mad at you for making me watch this one.
Yeah.
I was not mad at all.
Good. I'm actually in the middle of recording a video for my channel about this incident.
Oh, hell yeah.
That,
This incident,
That's a good way to put
this
it.
this incident that you had us watch, Fred.
So, I'm still debating on whether I'm going to release it because I do really, and I think all of us too, in case we sounded like harsh, and I know I did most of the talking for this one, rightfully so. I don't want anyone else to get in trouble or like people to be angry. We really are not mean spirited. We are all people who are like, let people enjoy things.
Yeah.
I think all four of us completely think like let people like things that they like and be weird.
Yeah, we're not here to
Yeah,
yuck
just
your
don't
yum.
hurt nobody.
No, but that doesn't mean I'm immune to cringe. And I am
No.
probably the weakest to it of everyone. My tummy hurts just thinking about that first
Aw.
video. So, without spoiling this one, what did you guys think of this one? She already said that she enjoyed it.
I liked this one. This one, I mean, I had seen it before. This was not my first time seeing it. Unfortunately, my first time seeing it could have been better experienced, which I don't know if we want to get to yet, but
No, not yet. Save that.
I don't know. I feel like the first one, like again, no judgment, no yuck on the yum or anything. The first one, I felt cringe towards the fans almost,
Mhm.
and then this one, I felt cringe on behalf of the Rooster Teeth crew, and those are two very different statements.
Yeah. But
This is the most proud I've been of programming. That's why I'm so glad to pick those two because they're
Mhm.
so similar but so different.
Yeah.
so different. Yeah, I think I enjoyed being multi-cringe with the Rooster Teeth crew way more than with the audience. Yeah.
Hammer, what'd you
Yeah.
think?
I want to know what happened to the lost founding fathers of John, Mark, Luke, and Fred.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Hammer set it up perfectly. We are talking about the 2010 PAX Convention Late Show. Basically, at PAX, they would have this late show, which was kind of supposed to be like the Tonight Show. It would be at the end of the day of one of the days of PAX, and it would kind of be the wrap up. It was supposed to be something kind of fun to do towards the end of the convention. I will say, as someone who's been to a couple conventions, I do wish they would do more of this. I feel like a lot of the convention stuff ends around like 5. I would like something at like a 9 p.m., a 10 p.m. to where I could go home after 5, shower, put on deodorant. Everyone hear that? Shower, put on deodorant, and then go
Mhm.
back out.
One more time.
Shower, put on deodorant.
Okay. Just in case somebody walked away.
At least one of them. Just pick one. Then go back out and like that could be fun because not everybody look. I mean, I'm a guy who likes to drink and hang out and like go to a bar and like do karaoke. Like that's fun, but not everyone likes to do that. So like, have something where people can go and chill. And this is what that was.
Yeah.
It starts with our two heroes. I debated saying their names. I think I'm gonna say them
Fred?
in my video. No, not
Oh,
Fred.
those people. Okay.
Yeah, those people. I may say them in my personal video. I'm not gonna say them here because it's the podcast and everyone here is very nice and respectful. Yeah, so the two hosts of this late show, they're both in suits, kind of, and there's like a monologue. Now, I sent you guys specifically one video that I think was like 40 minutes long. I've watched every video from every angle.
Mhm.
I've watched this shit like the Zapruder film. Like I am trying to figure out how JFK got killed. I'm watching from every angle with all the different audio levels. The whole thing starts with like a night show monologue of these two guys up there. They're fine. I mean, I think they're as good as any one of us would be if we just tried to go up and vamp for like 5 minutes to a bunch of nerds. Like they do fine.
Mm.
Then that's where things take a turn. Bernie talks about this on Rooster Teeth Podcast episode 234. If you want to go listen, finish us first, but then go listen to that.
Finish us?
One at a time.
The guy outside of Hammer's house he started running.
He's salivating. It's like, finally, my time has come.
He's busting through the window.
Finish him.
So yeah, okay, so I think we should include the content. Bernie at this point is staying backstage. Originally, it was just going to be Gus and Jeff. We're going to do this live show, but then Bernie wanted to help out. But Bernie didn't know anything about the other guest or the hosts. So Bernie, being a consummate professional, pulls out his phone and he's like Googling these people to see like what they're doing, who they are, what they're up to. So he has kind of some talking points.
Yeah.
Which is smart, right?
Yeah, very smart. Great way to approach something like this.
I don't think we have anyone like on our podcast live show with us, but if we did, we would all probably be doing the same thing of like, oh shit, BK is going to be introducing us. Oh, maybe we should look up what BK's doing. And then BK introduces us and then we say, oh, hey, and make sure to check out BK doing whatever, right? That's what performers do. And again, we're all amateurs. We don't do this ever. And we have better presence than our two heroes.
Two heroes.
So Bernie is prepping and they get up there and they say that we've got two people from the Rooster Tooth team, the Rooster Teeth team, the Rooster Tooth team.
Rooster Teeth.
And who do they introduce, Hammer?
Fred.
Gus and Fred from Rooster Teeth.
Yep.
At which point Bernie, Gus, and Jeff walk up. In the middle of walking up, Bernie just goes, who the fuck is Fred?
Off to a great start.
And then we see what becomes the theme of the whole thing, because the main host, the long hair, says, oh, we only thought we were getting two of you, and there's three, so that's extra awesome. And then Bernie just goes, no, not really. Oh, no. Now, so much happens so fast here.
So fast.
So fast. First, Jeff says he's going to eat every candy that's in the little jar of candy in front of him.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Which he does.
Immediately.
Which he
just
starts doing.
Horking
Well,
them.
it all made it into his mouth.
Yeah,
It all made it into its mouth.
And then later back into the dish.
Some behind the couch.
Our two heroes say, oh, we've got some like good vodka for you, but it's just a bunch of like mini water bottles. So Gus and Jeff, or Fred, start opening every water bottle on the table and taking one sip and going, that's not vodka. That's not vodka. That's not vodka. And it starts this trend of the hosts trying to make a joke. And it's like Bernie, Jeff, and Gus are all in perfect sync from working with each other at this point for like 8 or 9 years together.
Yeah.
They're just not going to let it land. They're going to let it hang for just long enough to bomb, and then they're going to say something.
Yep.
They nailed it.
Bernie, I think, Hammer, you can correct my wording here if you remember better. When he describes this in episode 234, he says, we like to think we have two modes where we have funny and we have mean. And for this thing, we got mean, which is about as much. They really don't go into this much in episode 234. They talked about it in actually 2 episodes, I think, but 234 is the one where they actually they talk about it when it happened very briefly and kind of brush it off. But if you're doing a rewatch of the old Drunk Tank podcast, it's fun if you've watched like our episode here, it's fun to go back and watch that and the full story.
What I wonder in regards to that is if Bernie did his research beforehand about these two guys so that he could have something to work off of, was that what inspired him to proceed with tanking it, or was it just how the whole thing started?
It is interesting because it does seem like they are all on the same page immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
I have no idea. My guess is that something got said before before we start seeing what's going on.
Yeah, because they were really in sync with what to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all like immediately like, who the fuck is Fred? Because look, and who knows? It could be they have such chemistry that like if we got introduced and they called Hammer, Bammer or something like that. Bammer McKinema.
We just found Hammer's alter ego.
That joke will make sense. It's like who's the Flashes? It's like the reverse Flash.
Yeah.
It's like, so I don't know. Maybe they were all just in great sync with the Fred thing, and then it can't be understated. We're taking a few minutes to talk about this because it's so funny. This all happens in minutes. This first few stuff. So like, it could be one of those things where like, oh, maybe we'll just kind of rib them for a little bit. That honestly feels like more of like Jeff and especially Bernie's way of dealing with things. If you've listened to them for a while, that they would kind of rib them for fucking up the name and then get back on course. But then when those guys keep fucking up, because trust me, they keep fucking up, then it gets ugly. To which our long-haired friend says, what to him, Hammer? What does he ask him about?
Machinima.
He says, "So how long have you guys been doing Machinima?" And in my favorite thing that I've actually referenced on this podcast before, Bernie goes, "Machinima Christ," and he just starts laughing. And he says, "This is the research portion of the show," which is such a, like, oh man, they're spitting venom and it's so funny the whole time.
Yeah.
Speaking of Machinima, are there other ways you guys have heard it mispronounced before?
The way from the podcast, but I'll let Chia the
Oh.
answer.
I had never heard of Machinima before Hammer, so no. I
Which
heard
is
you
funny
guys
'cause
call
you-
it I can't even say it wrong now. But
Machinima.
when I heard them say it on the video, I was like, "Oh my god, that's where it came from." Machinima. There it is.
It's funny that that's actually really cool that you didn't know what that was before Hammer, despite having seen Red versus Blue.
I didn't know the name for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard it pronounced. I know when I first saw the word, I was like, "What? How do you do that? How do you say that?"
Those are letters.
It's like machine, machine.
I read it as machine the first time I read
So I was
it.
like, I have no clue. And then I heard them say it, and I was like, okay, that makes more sense.
Well, let me ask too. I think it's fair to say that, and there's no shade to Hammer, unless I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm mad at him. I don't know.
You will be.
Packy's pretty cool, but I think she is like the coolest on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like she's not as
point.
like immersed. Like, don't get me wrong. Like what you want to like, but the most cringe thing about me is I have a YouTube channel and I'm a co-host on a podcast where I talk about Rooster Teeth, which is pretty fucking lame.
I think it's pretty cool.
She is divorced enough from a lot of that where she just seems kind of fucking cool. And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll do this thing. And it seems like one of the many cool things about Chia. So what did you think of these two guys? Were they cool?
No.
No.
No. No.
Okay.
Like
I want to make sure.
they didn't even bother like trying to fix it. Like they're just like, well, we dug
No.
ourselves a hole. Let's keep digging it.
Chia, you
Let's keep
nailed it.
digging it.
I was hoping you'd mention that because they, especially long-haired guy, does not stop calling it Machinima.
The entire time. And then he'd like slightly correct himself, but then just go right back to it. And I was like, I'm gonna up slap this man right in the back of his head. Just
he was, and I think he was a better entertainer than the other guy. The other guy, though, the guy with the short hair, he was really passionate about things. Because like when this happens, and like go back and watch this, because they say Machinima Christ. As Bernie finishes, like as he starts to laugh about it, that short haired guy jumps in and goes, "Well, what's the etymology behind that? Where do you guys get?" Before they ever called it Machinima, so he knew that it was wrong, and or at least like his opinion of it was wrong. He jumped in immediately. Also, by the way, Hammer, yes, Machinima is how I used to pronounce it.
Machinima.
Because that's what it looked like when it was written, because the I's in the wrong place. But, whatever. But the co-host jumps in really quick, which he is going to do again later. I have to mention, though, Jeff is still eating all the candies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sitting there
Well,
unwrapping,
not
shoving them
eating.
all in his mouth. Just
What?
can't even close his mouth.
They make their way into his mouth.
They make their way in
Yeah.
his mouth.
And then the second bowl makes the way into the pockets of his shirt.
Well, I want to ask you here now, too. To remind viewers, you have less exposure to Rooster Teeth personalities outside of Red versus Blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you find it hard as a fan to know when they were joking versus when they weren't?
Yeah, there were a couple times where I was like, is Jeff gonna punch this guy?
Yeah. Okay.
Is
Yeah.
Bernie gonna punch this guy? Like,
Yeah.
oh no. And then Gus is just sitting there whispering sweet nothings into Jeff's ear. They were snooging. It was super cute.
So that's the thing. So, and I'm glad you said that because my point being, Chia is a fan and she just maybe doesn't watch all of their stuff. And this is in 2009 or 2010. And these hosts have no idea if they're being fucked with, At least yet. I think they figure it out pretty fast after this, but
Mm-hmm.
they have no idea. They're trying to keep up at this point, and I think this is where they realize that they're outclassed.
Yeah, to say the least.
For some reason, they immediately then start talking about LAN parties.
Yeah.
And then I just put in my notes, guy keeps saying McKinema. And for those of you following at home, I'm really sorry. This is the point in which Jeff spits out all the candy.
Mhm.
Yeah, first he spits some out behind the couch and then realizes
Yeah.
that's not going to work. So then he just grabs the bowl and like kind of turns and just you can hear because his microphone is
Yes.
right there. The candy's
They're wearing like
falling in
lapel
the
mics.
thing. Ding, 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 ding,
Mhm.
ding, ding, ding. And then later Bernie goes to grab one.
Yeah,
Oh God.
that part.
Is
I
that
was
true?
like, oh
And he's
god,
like, no,
don't.
no, no, not that one. Here, take one out of my pocket.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, Jeff stopped him.
Oh. I've
Uh-huh.
watched this video hundreds of times. I've never noticed that. That's amazing. I'm gonna watch it again after we record. This is okay. So then comes, first of all, I quote a lot of these lines, mostly to myself as like vocal stems. But this is the long-haired guy then says, so did you guys ever think Jesus Christ. He says, so did you guys ever think he says, did you guys ever think you'd be here this popular? Here, you're at the PAX Late Show.
Uh-huh.
And Jeff just goes, yeah, we're super popular. And then he says, you're on the Late Show at PAX. And that's when Jeff says maybe the funniest thing he's ever said.
Dude.
And he says, 7 years ago, we had a wish board where we would put up all of our hopes and dreams, like a unicorn or a Ferrari. And Bernie just goes, we never did. And he goes, at the top of my wish board was to be on this show. And now I'm here. So I've done it. And then the long haired guy's like, so what are you guys working on now? Like, he
just completely disregards it.
And Bernie even points it out. He doesn't even let him get away with it. He's like, you're just gonna go right past that.
Uh-huh.
That's where the long haired guy has realized, oh no, they are fucking with me.
Oh,
Jeff's delivery
beautiful.
on that, that was like
Dude.
the most sincere thing he was saying all night. Like it was a heartfelt story he was sharing, and then just to drop that complete bullshit bomb.
Whenever Jeff tells stories about himself when he was a kid, especially when he like downplays stuff,
Mhm.
like remember how I don't know if you guys have if you know, but like he's told the story before about how he used to work at like a barber shop or like a hair salon and he got
Mhm.
fired. He would he had to sweep up the hair of all the women who had their hair cut, but he got fired because he would like gossip with the girls who were getting their hair cut or the old women who were getting their hair cut. And then another time he got put on the cash register at like his chicken place that he worked at, but he got fired from that because the customers found him like abrasive, basically.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
I remember
I
that.
think of that delivery every time where he's like, just says, 7 years ago when we started this company, and you're like, oh, what's he gonna say?
Mhm.
A wish board.
It's like
Oh my God.
it's the most of anything you've gotten out of Jeff aside from a mouthful of candy.
Yeah.
Oh, because Jeff, I think it's important to say here, and yeah, look, Jeff, great progress, doing great. Jeff is drunk off his ass.
Well, yeah, he
Or-
has
Yeah,
somebody
he-
bring him a flask and
yeah,
then he
he
empties
takes-
it on
He
stage.
takes a flask of good shit out of the audience from somebody.
I do want to point that out. Actually, depending on what video you watch, Count 3D, Dom, Count 3D, longtime Rooster Teeth fan, he filmed 3 parts of this from the first row. It's actually my favorite version to watch. The problem is he doesn't film the end. Like he misses a lot at the end. But Count 3D, Dom, he longtime fan. He's actually been on an episode of the Drunk Tank podcast. Really cool dude. Cool thing about him is he has a Flickr account basically that's still open. I know I just gave a lot of people
Damn.
PTSD about Flickr, where he has uploaded thousands of photos from every Rooster Teeth event he ever went to. And he has crazy like photos that like no one's ever seen. And if they have, it's been because I put them in a video because I used Dom's stuff. So like because Dom just dropped them in this file, and I hope it's still, because I just, whenever I need something from like a weird convention, I always look at his Flickr. It's saved in my bookmarks.
That's genius.
So it's such a good source, and I've messaged him before, and I'm like, you're the best fan ever. And he had such a cool reaction too. I was like, hey man, and I told him I used one of his photos, and I was like, also, I loved your episode on the Drunk Tank podcast. That was really fun when you showed up. And Dom's like, oh, that's still out there. That's fun. And I'm like, man, what a cool response. He knows that's still out there, but like, what a cool, like, oh yeah, I was on the Rooster Teeth podcast one time. No big deal. Uh,
No biggie. It's
but
cool.
Dom is not only the guy who hands Jeff liquor, I believe he's also the guy who yells out "Roll Tide."
Okay.
And Jeff puts his hands up in the air. Then, yeah, so like I said, the long-haired guy says, what are you working on now? Which is rough, because this show in general was a huge deal. This was where Monty's first major contribution to Red versus Blue was debuted. Where the warthog breaks through the wall, and it's a huge moment to someone on our podcast, which we'll get to later. Huge moment. And then there's also the same convention where they debuted Immersion, their video game in real life show.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So they had made the video about the driving car with the GTA view, like the third person camera of a car.
Yeah.
They made both of those things, and it was making a lot of waves at PAX at the time. However, these guys didn't do any research, so they said, what are you guys working on now? To which Bernie says, I don't know, what are we working on now? The end of the segment, maybe?
It wasn't, by the way. It was not the end of the segment.
No. But boy, were they working towards it. This is where things really, like, it gets so... It's bad in both directions, because, I mean, not bad. I find the Bruce Teeth side really funny, but I think the hosts just kind of give up, our heroes. They just kind of give up. After that whole thing, they just say, what games are you playing?
Yeah.
To which then when they mention that Jeff like unlocks achievements for a living, the co-host with the short hair gets really mad again.
He really did. He was not a fan.
Yeah, he's like, I want to talk about this now. Hold on. Like, wait. So what do you do? So they start
You get
like
paid for achievement?
Yeah, they start like grilling Jeff. And then the lawyer guy goes, yeah, but game theory says achievements are bad. Game theory says achievements like cut against like the enjoyment of a game. And then Gus just goes, game theory sounds like nerd talk to me. Which is, if you know Gus or have ever seen Gus, him delivering that is fucking hilarious. Like the nerdiest guy on that stage or on that couch saying that is so funny, because it's now even the nerd is bullying you.
You guys got Gus to bully you.
Real quick, I stepped away from the mic for a minute there. Did we talk about the thing Gus said about D&D?
No, we're about to get there. We're almost
Okay.
there.
Okay.
We're actually about. I'll let you hit that part, because then Bernie jumps in, and after the game theory thing, Bernie goes, "You researched that, but you called him Fred." Oh Jesus. And then the short-haired guy basically like, so what is this achievement hunter? Like, what is this show? Like, you just get achievements and like you show people how to get achievements. And then there's a again, he lets it fall, and Jeff goes, sure, why not? It's like, oh my fucking God.
You get paid by the achievement?
Oh,
Yeah,
That
he
part
was
got me.
so fucking confused. I was just like, oh my God, child. Go away. Go away.
Like, I realize it's what, 2010. Like, the internet's still, it's a tool. You know, Google it was a thing. Yeah, that people had started doing that. But come on, like, research should be part of your job at that point.
well, that they went up there and like they just made up a name, Fred, because like who? Because
Yeah.
like even Bernie said when they went up there, he's like, "Are you thinking like Fred from YouTube? Because we're on YouTube." Like, it's super disrespectful. And Rooster Teeth, while not at their later levels of fame, like via Achievement Hunter or via Ruby, like they were a big deal on anyone at PAX knew who fucking Rooster Teeth was.
Except
Yeah.
I
for
would assume.
2 people.
Except for, these 2 guys never heard of them. They heard of
Nope.
Father Frag's Best, and that's it. They stopped watching Machinima. Which I don't know if we passed that point or not, because like they start talking about the first Machinima they ever saw at a LAN party, and they spend more time talking about that shit than anything about Red versus Blue. I don't think Red versus Blue ever leaves their mouths.
Mm-mm.
I don't think they know that Rooster Teeth made Red versus Blue. I don't think they know what Red versus Blue was. I'll go that far.
Yeah.
And then they get to then they just go, hey, so do you guys play like other games, like board games like D&D?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we get that brilliant delivery from Gus. What does he ask them? They ask him a question.
They ask, like, they say something, and here's the thing: if you've watched the Drunk Tank podcast up to this point, you know that Jeff, Griffin, and Gus and a few other their friends have a D&D night that they go to every week, and they're really into it. And Bernie
They
makes
said
fun
as
of
much
them.
too. They said, yeah, this guy plays it every week or something like that.
Yeah, and Bernie makes fun of him on the Drunk Tank podcast of like, oh yeah, these guys love playing D&D, and like he kind of bullies them.
Mm-hmm.
But then they ask like some crazy ass fucking question, some weird question, and then Gus hits them with, again, nerd making fun of nerds. What does
Yeah,
he
he
say?
just points immediately at them and says, "That sounds like something somebody would say that doesn't play D&D."
Oh, I'm actually backing up from before that, because when they ask him the crazy question, he goes, "I have a wife."
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then they go, "Oh man," he's like, "Oh yeah," but then she stopped playing though after that. And then Jeff was like, "Oh yeah, she went back to collecting miniatures."
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you don't know, Gus's wife Esther, she would collect mini furniture, like really tiny furniture.
Yeah, and hasn't Gus said something about putting his dick on it so it
He
makes
put
it
his
look
dick
huge?
on the couch. He says it
Yeah.
makes his dick look huge because it's laying on a couch.
Yeah.
Now, I'm also going to say something here.
Yeah.
I sang Count 3D's praises. At this point, for some reason, when the whole crowd goes, ooh, Count 3D yells out, and I think it's him. It sounds like it's from behind camera of that angle. Again, Zapruder film. I've watched this more than those experts watch the Zapruder film. It sounds like it's Count 3D. Dom says, be nice.
Yeah.
And you
I heard that
actually
too.
see, you actually see Gus or Jeff, I can't remember which one, they kind of like shoot him a look of like, the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
what do you, it was so interesting because like if you can pick up on a few social cues, and I know social cues are harder for people to read, and I'm not saying I'm like some genius on social cues. Dom is picking up on a good social cue here that clearly we're all watching this now. I've primed you guys. We're all looking for the cringe, and it's very evident to us.
Right.
But in that moment, maybe you don't know that Rooster Teeth is fucking with these guys, especially if you don't know them. You're like, what's going on? Dom knew them well enough to know they were slighted and they were reacting in a really negative way. And then Gus said that thing, which really was not that bad. And then he's just like, be nice. And I thought it was just a really interesting, like, why was that the moment we launched the be nice?
Yeah.
Because I agree
it did
with
seem
Gus.
very. I mean, aside from the fact that he was literally pointing at him, it did seem very pointed and it was very accusatory. But it's no different than, oh, I have a wife. Like
Yeah.
that. I felt like was meaner. Like
Yeah.
to assume that they don't have a love life because they play D&D.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And again, I don't know if it was Dom, and I'm sure maybe Dom was just trying to, maybe he was trying to rein him in because he had just given Jeff a flask of liquor. To which, if you watch Dom's version, and all of them you see it, but Dom's version is great because Jeff looks down and gives him a motion of like, give me that.
Yeah, he's like, I know
It's
you
like,
got that.
Yep.
Let me have that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, just give me that. Then, because these guys can't take a fucking hint, they go, what's the first video game you ever played?
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then there's that whole talk about Pong.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
And they don't
just
seem to
couldn't
understand
appreciate
that
it.
there was a version of video games that came in a glass top table at like barcades and shit like that.
Yeah, like he was, oh my God.
I don't know how else they could have fucking explained that to him without showing him a picture on Google.
It's like, no, the TV's in the table. Like, what?
What?
One person sits there, the other person sits there.
It's
Oh,
too
man.
much. That is too much.
Then they ask, like, what would be your dream video game to have? Again, I mean, it's so insane that they thought this would be like acceptable. And who knows? I think there may be a story here. And hey, long-haired guy and short-haired guy, if you're listening, come on the podcast. We would
Yeah.
love nothing more than for you to give your side of the story.
Oh my
Because
God, that would be awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
going to give my reason that I call them our heroes.
Yeah,
I think they were given that job at the last second.
I
And
can
they were
totally
told-
100% believe that.
They were told, you got to interview these guys. And they were clearly nerdy guys. And I feel like someone in charge said, hey, someone else backed out. We need you guys to do this. And they said, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And they jumped in the driver's seat. And I'll even give them the benefit, and I don't think this is really true, but I'll give them the benefit of saying they didn't have time to even like look up Rooster Teeth or Red versus Blue or anything. And so,
Right, they just got shoved in the car. They said, go to this destination, and then walked
Yes.
away. Like, no maps,
And-
nothing. Like, just figure it out.
I want to give them the opportunity to come on, and if that isn't true, come on this podcast and tell the story. We'll tell people that that was true. Like we'll let you lie to the audience.
Then I can be asked about McKenna.
This is so
I will
Hammer
slap them
McKenna.
upside the head for you, Hammer. I promise. Because I probably don't hit as hard as you do.
They call him Hammer because of baseball.
Yep.
I tell everyone who listens to the podcast in my personal life, I love saying that line. They call him Hammer because of baseball, and they go, "What?
No, what?
I'm like,
And that's so
"Yeah."
funny
It's like,
because, like, when he told me that made the most sense out of anything
Oh,
I've
yeah.
ever heard. Like, I'm like, that's instantly, I get it.
so the host asks them, because what else do you ask them at this point? If you could have your fantasy favorite game ever made, what would it be? And then Bernie comes up with what is essentially DayZ. 3 years before DayZ releases, or probably less than that. But
But you know what would make that even better?
oh my! So
Mhm.
Bernie says he wants to have a video game where, and he's said this many times in the past, he wants to have a video game where death means something, basically a hardcore mode.
Yeah.
But he wants the whole video game to be that, so people would be careful and like having a life would mean something. To which the co-host, short-haired guy, cuts him off and says, "I have a better idea."
Oh,
25 cents per life.
So he says the exact same thing as Bernie, except you pay a quarter every time you die to make it. And Bernie's like, okay, so you have a permanent thing, you live your life, you die, but then you pay a quarter and you come back to life. And he's like, yeah, you're right, totally different. It's just like,
it's
oh my
incredible
God.
that he understood the concept of that, which is essentially arcade games, but has not seen Pong in a tabletop cabinet.
Yep.
And I get what the guy's trying to do. Dude, short-haired guy, if you're listening, I get
Please
what you're
come
trying
on our
to say. Like,
podcast. We need
dude,
answers.
I was about to say, I have so much to do. And I know we all have a huge list of things to do. I'm not saying I have more to do. I look at my list and my heart starts racing of all the things I have to do. For some reason now, though, at the top of the list is to find these guys and get them on the podcast.
Uh-huh.
I want them on so bad. All I have next in my notes is that they're talking about something and they were like, oh, and then his pants of holding fell off. And then Gus just turns to Jeff and goes, you remember when your pants of holding fell off? And then they all start laughing. Then they ask Bernie some question, and then Jeff starts playing with Bernie's hair.
Yep.
Yeah, that was so
Twirling his
funny.
hair.
I think it was even funnier because Bernie just let it happen. He didn't like
Yeah.
swat him away, right?
No, he
just
like kind of flinched at first, realized what he was doing, giggled, and then just went right back to answering.
it's just like, who
the
hasn't
question.
done that with their friends? Come
Yeah.
on.
And then Jeff then starts to say something to Gus, but then covers his mic and then
Yep.
says the rest of it
Yeah,
to
you
Gus.
have to wonder what the fuck they said.
Oh my God. I wrote, I need to know what was said.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, they were both too drunk. We'll never know.
Yeah.
But then the guy pitches his game, which we're towards the end here of my notes, to which he says Sim Dwarf.
Yeah. The fuck was that?
Yeah, Bernie at one point earlier when they're talking about like the elves of Everesca and shit is like Bernie says like, I don't know what the fuck anyone's talking about. I feel like he could have said that 100 times during this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then they said something like, why didn't instead of Halo you make Machinima in some other game? Did anybody get the name of that?
I think it was Rogue, wasn't it?
Was it Rogue?
Yeah, because that's like the original game that inspired what is the roguelite genre. And that's why it caught my ear, because I just recently had a conversation with somebody about that game at work. So I was like, oh, they're talking about Rogue. Okay.
Well, then Gus says, well, because it looked like shit back then.
Mm-hmm.
Why would we do it? He's like, and then he says, here, let me make some machinima for you right now. And then he grabs the water bottles and the candies with Jen, and he's like, oh, and they start like acting out machinima on the table. And they're like, oh, pew, 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 bang. Oh, he's dead. That's machinima. The only thing I had left here was that first long-haired guy, it's like he just admits that he doesn't have access to the desk, that all the drawers are bolted shut.
Yeah.
Then
there's a body in there.
Yeah, and then he just brings up how like he just has papers and he just stacks them together like Space Ghost. And then because why ask them about anything Rooster Teeth related, he just goes, have you guys seen Space Ghost?
Yeah, and of course he's talking about Space Ghost Coast to Coast. And Bernie's like, no, I've seen like Space Ghost, like the original show.
And exactly. And then somebody who is less socially apt yells out from the crowd, I've seen Space Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jeff is like, oh, do you want to like talk about it?
Yeah.
Do you want to come up here?
And then Jeff takes off his microphone and eventually gives this guy who isn't great socially his microphone. Now, then at this point, they introduce Molly. Anybody have her name?
No, that's when we stopped watching.
Yeah, when the ukulele touched the desk, we turned it off.
Here's the thing. She's actually a very accomplished musician now. Molly Lewis.
Okay.
They bring her up on stage, and then in a really funny moment, like they bring her up there just randomly because obviously the show is just wrecked at this point. And she shakes hands with both hosts and then shakes hands with Bernie, which I just thought was really funny.
Yeah.
I just wrote, she shakes Bernie's hand for some reason. And I put...
Was it because he got up to like move to give her the
He
seat?
did. You nailed it.
Yeah,
I put good guy Bernie stands up to give her the main spot.
Yeah. The hot seat, if you will.
The hot seat. Yeah. To give it to her, to like put the attention on her. But then she just shakes his hand. And I put not her fault, just awkward all around.
Yeah.
Because like she's just up there and she's shaking hands and he's just there and he probably was, and I'm sure it was part Bernie like reaching out his hand.
Didn't she have to go? Was that the one where she had to go like off stage, behind stage to get back on stage or something?
Yes.
Like even the act of getting her on stage was just bizarre.
Well, so Jeff gives the mic to the guy, and then the guy starts messing with the mic. And depending, again, I watched this like the Zapruder film. If you watch the angle from the guy who shoots it from very far away, he pans the crowd several times, which I would recommend. I'd recommend watching all of these angles at differing levels of sobriety, so you can really get the full experience. And he pans the crowd, and one of the times he pans the crowd, you can see the guy with the microphone, and he zooms in on that guy who's like fucking with the microphone. Okay, Hammer saw it. He's like fucking with the microphone to like figure out how to get it to work, because it's not like a mic, it's like a lapel, right? And and so he's like fucking with it, and then the Molly Lewis girl gets up there and she starts talking about what she does, and she's getting ready to play, and then Gus, Bernie, and Jeff all sit there politely for a while and like let her talk, and like she's like, oh, I've been doing this. So she sits down and she's about to play a song, and then the guy that Jeff had no way of knowing, but the guy that Jeff gave the mic to goes, are you gonna play that one song where and it's like, oh no.
Oh no.
And he's mic'd up because Jeff gave him the mic.
Yeah, that's right.
he starts like yelling, like, play this one song, and she's like, oh, probably not, maybe, I don't know. And then he says something else, and she handles it super professionally. She nails it. Huge props to her. She would have been like 20 when that happened. But like super cringe because he's just like really not aggressive. He's just not socially like aware.
Mm-hmm.
And then first Bernie sneaks off stage. And then if you're still watching at this point, you can watch Jeff and Gus. They politely sit through the whole thing. I would have been like Bernie. I can't handle that level of cringe. I would have had to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the ukulele stuff is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not like
Yeah.
a ukulele guy. Whenever my friends in college would bust him out, I would leave. She does
That's such a
she does like a version.
College guys with ukuleles, yeah, I'd be like, I got stuff to do. Bye.
I had a very solid friend group in college that one of them did Aikido.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's martial arts with like a sword. I was like, oh, that sounds badass. And then his girlfriend, who I was actually friends with, more than him, I just knew him because he was dating her. And she's like, oh, show him. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds badass. And then he did it for me. Halfway through the routine, I had to get up and leave. I said, I'm really sorry. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Oh no.
It was like a play sword that he had wrapped in like tape, and he was like sliding on the ground on his knees, like pretending to strike the fake sword at people. And he took it way too seriously. And he pulled out like he played a video on YouTube of like samurai music. It was too much.
Oh.
Point being, even if I like you, and I'm not saying I'll be cringy all the time. I just can't. Witnessing it's really hard for me.
So we should do that to open our homebrew show.
Oh, I'm sure I've got a couple friends with those swords left.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that you say with them left.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
something
dude.
happened to
I've got friends that
them.
used to do LARPing, but they didn't call it LARPing.
It had a name.
It had a name.
Yeah.
I don't
We don't need
remember
to.
what it was.
We
but
don't need to promote that.
Yeah, we definitely don't need
We
to.
don't need to
But they had
promote
the
that.
tunics, the swords, the shields, the armor. They had it
Whoa.
all, and it was pretty much all pool noodles and duct tape.
Except for one of them did. I was over at their house when they were having a garage sale, and there was a ceremonial sword they had in the corner of their garage, and I picked it up, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And she's like, go ahead, take it. So I currently have this sword that's
What?
it's got like a plastic handle, and it's kind of flimsy. It was like a trophy for winning one of the competitions. They never struck each other with it. That actually
It's
would have
not-
hurt
it's
'cause
not
it's pretty
sharp.
heavy.
It's
But
a very dull sword. But
I do have that one. I probably can't bring that on a plane though.
no, we
It is-
cannot bring that with us. Sorry.
It's like bigger than what, like hairspray or something. How does that work?
It's definitely bigger than 8 ounces.
Oh my God.
It's an 8-ounce blade.
Sir, do you have any weapons or contraband?
Just pull out a sword.
It's
Oh,
not
man.
sharp.
It's definitely not.
It's for looks, you guys.
Bottom line, you guys at home to watch this video. Don't watch the first one. Or do. I don't know. There's a charm to it. This second video, though, is really funny. It is one of my favorite Rooster Teeth videos. It's very unhinged.
Very.
I think one of my favorite parts from it that I think we might have missed was when the guy was talking about his desk and how the drawers were shut and all he had was paper. Bernie just looked at him and said,
Yo, you didn't have to
to
say that."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's one of those things where we all have to laugh at ourselves.
Yeah.
But boy, is it nice to laugh at other people who you weren't there for. But speaking of who you weren't there for, Packy, what's your connection to this event?
Well, funny enough, I was there,
Oh my
but
God.
I wasn't there.
What?
I was at that PAX event. I was there to watch Rooster Teeth. I was there for Rooster Teeth and all the community members that I met up with so that we could go to the panel where we were surprised with Monty's unveiling of all the hard work he'd done on his introduction to Revelation. And then apparently this happened that night. I don't think any of the people that I was there with even went to it, surprisingly enough. If they did, I'd never heard about it because I did not know about it until, what are we, 16 years later, roughly?
Well, you watched this video during one of our watch parties.
Yeah,
on our
that was the
Discord.
first time I'd ever seen it, and
I made
I
made everyone
was
watch
like,
it
what the
because
fuck?
I
I was there.
power
Like,
tripping. Yeah. But this has been a exclusive look and analysis of Cringe. Chia, how are you feeling?
I'm ready to watch something else. We started with the
Oh,
good
man.
one.
yes, we watched the PAX Late Show first,
Yeah,
and
we
then we
watched
watched the RTX
this morning.
Achievement
That's a-
Hunter thing the next.
It's a bad way to do it.
Yeah.
But we did wrap it up with the last half of season 7. So I mean, we did like end our TV watching on a good note, but did not start it on a good note. So I'm ready to get back to Red versus Blue or whatever else you guys tell me to watch. Just please don't make me watch any more Cringe for at least a month.
We'll take a break. I think me and Hammer could go to the lab and find some Cringe in Rooster Teeth's history.
Oh boy.
Thank you for watching the Flying the Coop podcast. We are going to be at Homebrew very soon. It's probably too late for you guys to get a ticket. But if you can, you're anywhere in Texas, do it. If not, reach out, talk to us. We love talking to you. FlyingTheCoopMail at gmail.com. And our Discord where we do watch parties. We're going to be better about that pretty soon. We're going to be doing like one a month. So check in. Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Fucking Hammer.
Bye.